Welcome back, everyone, to Sister Talks. Thanks for joining us, where we talk a little bit about things that make us go, and things that make us laugh and think a little bit. My name is Shanice, your co host and host of Succeed with Shanice podcast. And I am here with my sister.
I am Janelle, I'm not the host. I don't know. I have a YouTube channel called My Core Memory Volts.
And today, we're winging it. So, I'm actually going to punt it to you.
Yes.
Because I know you had something on your
Yes,
mind.
I have a curiosity. My curiosity comes with a little bit of a backstory or setting the scene.
Set the scene.
Okay, so you know Candy, right? From Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
She has a daughter. Name is Riley.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a show. It's called Next Gen, where it's like her. I mean, I'm like, the old aunties. It's just like, how's my niece doing? I've turned into that because I literally only watch it to be like, okay, is Riley good? Okay, I'm out now, because they're like younger. They're in their 20s. They're,
Yeah,
kids.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, so they're just kind of like doing a reality show. So, sorry, Riley's on there. Kim's daughter also from Atlanta, she's on there.
Okay.
Teresa's daughter from New Jersey, I think her name is Gia. She's on there. And then, everybody else is just, Brooks from Salt Lake City.
Oh, Meredith's son.
Mm-hmm. He's on there. And then everybody, they just, the kids dreaming in New York. Love to see it. But there was a point in the show that had me thinking, and I'm going to bring it up. So, do you know, we've talked about this before, and if you can hear Louis drinking in the background, that's what that is, because he's being hella loud.
Jesus.
But we've talked about this before, how Bravo does Black women, right? And evidently, it doesn't have a cutoff age or a start age. So they have, although one girl called it out, so I appreciate that. They were at this house, let's just say. And Riley, only Black girl, besides Dane Dash's daughter, although I'm not sure how she self-identifies, but she's got some Black in her. So the whole time, they've all been friendly or whatever. They're friends in New York. Sorry, I'll get to it because I see the way you look. Because I'm in my brain, I want to recap the whole entire season, but I'm really only
not today.
Yeah. So to get to it, there was a point where they were all in this house and they were sitting around the table. Mind you, just in your brain, think of because it's little things that add up. But this was the dropping. This is what brought up about my question.
Mm-hmm.
So they were sitting at a table, and one of the girls, the one that don't wash her hands, she said that she wants to do some party or some club in the bowling alley. And she was saying it as the next big thing. You know how people just fast talk or whatever, which is fine. You're in New York, that's how y'all do. That's fine. But she was saying this, and she kept saying I want you guys to be honest with me. Tell me if it's a good idea. Just be honest. I need I'm telling you guys as friends. Just be honest before I invest into this. Okay. And everybody around the table was tiptoeing, but then in the confessionals, it would go to them being it's a horrible idea. Or, this is stupid. This is not going to be
well,
successful.
she knows her friends.
Right, but then Riley was oh, never mind, I'm not going to say it. And everybody was say it, say it. And so she was just what she said. I'm sorry to say, this is a terrible idea. And and everybody like acted like they weren't just in the confessional saying that it was a terrible idea.
Everybody else.
Yes. And then so one of Teresa's daughter was like, and again, like I don't want to, this is not about these specific people. These are kids.
Exactly.
They're going to like, they are either getting out of college, going to college like 22, whatever. They have a lot to learn. We had a lot to learn when we were 22.
Right.
You're going to do stupid things. But the concept shows up in a lot of places. And this is why I'm bringing this up. So she was like, oh, Riley, like when you say things, it's just really harsh. It's like really like.
But you asked for.
Y'all said y'all wanted her to be honest.
And are we not friends? Have we not been honest with each other before?
You know, Riley was just like, what is happening? So she like gets up from the table, walks away. And like they kept going about like how, first of all, everybody's at this table, kept going about how like what she says is harsh. She needs to like make it like lighter and all of the things just going in at this table. Whilst again, everybody said the same thing in the confessional. So really it's just Riley's real and y'all was being fake. But then Riley walks away with her one friend, which he's dope. Good for him. And then she comes back to the table and then they go into the house.
Oh, I would have
then
left.
Riley, okay, I would have been at because Riley got funds. I'm home. Anyway, but you're young and these are the people you think are your friends. So you're trying to like make it work. But they were like gaslighting her the whole time, like at the table as if they didn't ask her to tell the truth or whatever.
And that they didn't agree with her truth.
But then now we move inside and then she was basically like trying to apologize to the girl that don't wash her hands. Which I think her name was like Georgia or something.
She the girl that don't wash her hands.
But she was like, oh, like, sorry, all of the things. And then the privilege came up and what Riley was saying was like, this is a really like privileged conversation to have. Like we're all like, oh no, I think Riley's friend actually, he said, this is a privileged conversation because he came there from work. Oh. But so he was like, this is a very privileged conversation to be having. And then like the Georgia girl got really upset because she was like, I'm not privileged. When people think that just because you say they have privileges means that they didn't work hard. Right. So she was like, da da da. And then Riley tried to explain, like, that's not what we're saying. Like, it is a privilege that you have a boyfriend that's willing to invest over $1 million into your business. Not everybody can say that. And she was like, just like I'm privileged that I, like my mom, like I have the funds to do X, Y, and Z. But she still wasn't taking it like that. Mind you, they're all drunk. And the kids. Lord. And then so they kept going, like it was a continued back and forth, like acting like they didn't understand what Riley was like saying. So Riley was like, are you dumb? Like what? And then all of a sudden that caused a big hoopla. You just called me dumb, da 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 da, all of these things. And then, because I'm getting to my point, then everybody comes downstairs. Riley's like best friend, like basically says, mind you, this is just off the conversation of them being like, Riley, you're too harsh, da da da. But just her best friend comes down and is like, like you shouldn't have said that, da da da, and then goes and hugs the Georgia girl. And just like the look on Riley's face was like, I would not want that look on my daughter's face. And I've had that look before, obviously, when we've grown. When you think people are your friends and it's just like you are learning in real time and you have to react to the fact that the rules for everybody else is not the same for you. And while it is, some people's upbringing, while it's not their intention, because they are young, they're fresh out of their mom's house. So it's not their intention now. Now, in a couple of years, that is a choice. And the Charlie boy, that's a choice because you're 29 years old. But all the rest of them are young. But to have to see that, like, there's some bias there that you will always be wrong no matter what. So then we go to the breakfast in the morning, and then Riley just doesn't speak. And I've done that before, too. Because at some point you just be like, okay, well, I'm done talking then.
Exactly. Because no matter what I say, it's wrong.
And guess who had a problem with her not speaking? Everybody at the fucking table. Oh, why aren't you speaking? Like, what's wrong? Da 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 da. So she's just like, okay, so when I speak, it's a problem. When I don't speak, it's a problem. Like, I don't know what to do. And she just started crying at the table. Had glasses on. So, like, girl, we classy. Love this for you. But, like, she was, like, crying at the table. And I could see the frustration. And it just made me so sad for her because it's like, wow, another generation has to go through this whilst we had all of these conversations, like, beforehand. And then, so there's what is her name? I do not know her name. She's gorgeous, though. She was like, I mean, I think at this point we owe Riley an apology because we asked her to tell the truth and then she told it. And then
you chastised her for it.
And then you chastised her for it. And then like because the Georgia girl before that made a comment to the girl that I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Because she wanted to eat before they were going out to eat. So she ordered food there. And then the Georgia girl was like, oh, must be the Ozempic wearing off or something. Yeah, like really rude. So that's throughout the whole season, right? People have been saying, right, but people have been saying some really rude things, have been saying some like really mean, like screaming, all of these things. But Riley can just be like, are you dumb? Or like, be like, I think it's a bad idea. Then all of a sudden she's harsh, like, or all of a sudden like you're complaining, like, you know, they'll just say things that it's like it's normal for people to do. Oh, like when she gets drunk, she gets too drunk. You guys are in your 20s. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to be drinking now.
Exactly.
You're not supposed to be. I mean, I'm not gonna get up. You know, I'm a hush, but because I've seen all the shows. Absolutely. So it's just like, exactly. Tell somebody else, like, what's okay over here is not okay over there. Mm-hmm. Like, you guys are in your 20s. This is when you're supposed to be doing it. Anyway.
Explore.
I'm going to take off my petty hat for a second. But then she was like, okay, so, like, we owe her an apology, da-da-da. And, like, that happening. But still watching her have to go through that was really frustrating for me. So here's my actual curiosity after 10 minutes. How are you going to prepare your daughter for this? Like, what does that conversation look like? If we're, you know, if it's still necessary, if we're still in America, which...
It's going to be necessary regardless. Yeah. I think because I know I'm going to produce a Black girl who's going to become a Black woman.
Watch you have all boys, but go on.
Do not jinx me.
Twins.
Right. There's going to be a girl in some form or fashion. But for this conversation, because I know she's going to be a Black girl, I have to remind her what it means to be a Black girl. And I think I'm going to choose to be a lot more honest and transparent based on where she's at in age about my experiences being a Black girl, my experiences being a Black young woman in my 20s and 30s. And then as I get older, my experience even being a Black older woman. Because I think even now, we don't discuss enough the various stages of how diabolical everyone else who is not Black treats us because we are Black and we are a woman. I think there's two, I hate to say it this way, but I personally feel like gals, that there are these two levels that are against me. One being Black, especially here in America, and another being a woman, where folks think that they can try me in both directions. So it's like, it's double layered. So even just hearing the experience with Riley, and then also remembering my own experiences with friends, like, oh, you wasn't just coming at me because I was Black. You was also, there was another layer to this. I'm a woman, so you think I'm weak. Mm-hmm. Because I speak softly in this instance. I'm adding more bass to my voice lately, but because I speak softly, you think you can come at me a certain way and I'm not going to come right back. Mm-hmm. Or if I do with a little bit of bass, now it's a problem. Mm-hmm. But you can come at me with all the bass in all of the harshness, and I can't say nothing about it because I'm still Black. I'm still at the bottom of the totem pole. So like in speaking with my daughter, I want to make sure she fully understands like this is how other people see you and be you anyway. Know when it's time to speak up and know when it's time to just bow out. And you could sit in silence. I also think, because I've seen it happen with you where folks are like, well, why isn't Janelle talking? And what's wrong with her? And I've adopted like, well, if no one's talking at the table, then there must be something wrong. I must be doing something wrong. I'm not giving them space to speak. When like, or they just don't want to talk. And when they feel like talking, they'll talk. So not, I'm using a lot of harsh words today. I don't know why they keep coming up. But not demonizing individuals for being exactly who they want to be in that moment.
Demonizing is the word.
And like, I want to make sure my daughter knows they're gonna choose to label you however they want you to. Be you anyway. And I know that sounds so trendy and lofty and in the clouds, but by speaking that and then acting it out as well, which is why I'm doing so much work right now on myself, I'm hoping that will help my daughter to see like it's possible and this is how you do it in a safe and comfortable way.
Because it also sets you up our society sets you up in a space to where you don't think that you could make friends. And I don't know if it's just like a me thing, but it's like, you know, for me growing up, it's if I say something, it's a problem. If I don't say something, especially if I say something in honesty, if I'm just being honest, like I'm just trying to help people out. But like it's a problem. But if I sit there, then it's a problem also. But it makes you feel like, oh, okay, well, like you're never gonna make friends that way, so you have to like play by other people's rules. And I think this highlighted two things. The first thing whatever. We're winging it today. The first thing is Candy's phone call beforehand. I think I talked to you about this like before when I was like, oh, like there is a guy on the show and he was like waving his hand and like doing the little neck roll thing when talking about Riley. I'm really an auntie just be on the show being like, how y'all treating Riley? but like, and then Candy called and she was like, I love that you're able to make friends, like, and you're able to see everybody as like your friend, but sometimes they're not going to see you that way, blase, because I don't want to pigeonhole my kids also to be like, okay, we can only have Black friends then, and nobody else is going to see you. Because I don't think that's, first, it's not accurate, and second, that's not fair. Third, it's not fun to like just be looking at, like, it's just not interesting when we live in America. Like everybody's here,
right?
And then the show in this instance also highlighted her friend. Let me get his name. Okay, I looked up the name. Also, the girl who said that we owe you an apology, her name is Amira. So just want to circle back there because it's kind of rude that I don't know the names. But now I have the cast list, so here we are. But her friend Shy is the one that was like, yeah, no, like this is crazy, da 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 da. So it's like people are able to see. There are people that are able to not have those biases, and then those will just be your friends. And also, there are people like Kim's daughter. Let me get her name. Excuse me. Let me scroll. Oh, left. Okay, I got her name. Her name is Ariana. So then we see the other side of it with her, of seeing somebody who like has the bias or like went along with the group and comes back and says like, hey, this is actually wrong. This is not right. Like, I'm going to try to do better. Da, 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 da. So I don't even know why I started talking about that now. Everything, so many things.
Well, this might be an unpopular opinion. It could just be because I'm getting older and I don't care anymore. I think we need to do away with folks deciding to, quote unquote, make friends. We're not making anybody. You do you, vet friends, interview them, make sure they are truly a friend to you, and then place them in whatever compartment they need to be in your social ecosystem to be a friend. Because I wish I knew back like when we were in high school, middle school. In middle school, that I don't have to be friends with everybody. Like I don't to be liked. It's kind of like now with social media. Like people like you if they have the now it's a heart, right? It used to be just thumbs up. Now it's hearts, emojis, all that kind of stuff. But if they poke, well, I guess not poke. If they follow you, they like you. So that was similar to the concept, I feel like, in middle school for me, where it's like if folks either want to sit next to me, listen to what I'm saying, or maybe not even listen, but just be around me, they're my friend. They like me, only to find out like they're also coming in to potentially harm me. They have ill intent. They're jealous of me. They're envious of me. Or they can care less about me. They just wanted to sit because there was an empty seat next to me. And like, I wish we can do away with showing up in these places where we're trying to build friendships, minimizing who we are to ensure that at least someone initially likes me. Like, no, you gotta like me for me. This is who I am. This is how I talk. These are my thoughts. Sometimes they change. Today, this might be my opinion. Tomorrow might be a different opinion. And if you can't go with the ebbs and flows of who I am, then yeah, I guess we can't be friends. And that's fine. But I feel like at a very young age, and I've seen it with no offense to parents, but I have seen it even with parents where they kind of force friendships to happen. And I think we talked about this before, based on proximity or what have you, thinking like, well, as long as they have a friend, then they're good. And we're more worried about the person who's sitting like by themselves all alone, or the child by themselves all lonely, when really maybe they just need me time. Like let them sit by, or maybe none of these people are they stilo. Like no, they just don't vibe like that, and let that be okay. But I think there's so much pressure, especially on kids, but most specifically in our 20s, where we're like, okay, we have to have a friend group right now. If I don't have a friend group, I'm nothing.
Yeah.
Or I have no relevance to society in any way. When really, like, you're finding yourself. And so are the rest of the people that you're trying to make friends with. So why not make friends when you already have a solid idea or foundation of who you are?
Right. And that also would take a lot of courage, because like you would have to be honest about who you are and be true to yourself and be authentic at a very early age, where that is also like it is like impressed upon you to want to fit in before you even yourself want to fit in. You just think that fitting in is the right thing to do. Much like, okay, like now, I remember being in school and there was a kid and he liked anime, Naruto Run, all of the things. He got roasted. It was in middle school, and he was like kind of smaller, super skinny, but he was so nice. But he roasted because he liked anime. And then I'm seeing now the people, because we are all friends on Facebook still. Like some of us are friends on or whatever you are on Instagram, and seeing those same people who roasted him being like anime this, Naruto that, like Demon Slayer, da 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 da. But it's like I was there when y'all was roasting this kid, like making him cry in school because you guys were making fun of him because he likes anime. Exactly. And here you are trying to be like, Naruto since day one. Y'all know nothing about this.
Because now it's trending.
So it's just like it's gotta take courage. Like if everybody was actually who they were or who they are, then they could have been friends.
Exactly.
But since people were trying to fit in and he had the courage to stand out, now all of a sudden he's getting roasted.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it just takes courage to be who you are. And I gave him as an example because I did not have the courage either. Like I too was fitting in, and it was easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Cheer and dance. That's all you have to do is just be good at something. I'm still the black girl, so you still can't deviate. I think about this often. Like I think about high school often. And before I go on, if you can hear the people doing the landscaping, it just is what it is. We decided to do this record on a different day because I had to do something on Tuesday. So now we know to never do this on Thursday again.
But they be changing when they landscaping anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
One time they was here on a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's valid. But what I was saying is I think about high school often because I want my children to have a better experience than me, or just a more authentic experience, like to not waste as much time as I wasted doing things that did I want to do it, or it was
I just going with whatever.
Yeah, else is doing? Did I want to cheer and dance? Yeah, but not like that.
Exactly.
To where you can't do anything else. You can't take up any other elective. Yeah, took our whole day
and night,
and it doesn't send you anywhere. That was it. That's where it stopped. We work all those hours. Besides dance, that stayed with me forever because of obviously I ended up dancing in college. But I don't know. I just think about that often. So my question
really quickly.
So go for it.
Well, two things. One, realize that landscaping comment was very privileged, so I'm going to acknowledge that because we have landscapers. However, it would be great if they had a set schedule.
We didn't hire them.
Well, technically, I'm paying for them through the HOA.
So that's true. Oh, so we got get rid of the HOA.
that's another episode.
Goodness.
But I do want to highlight that I recognize there is a time and place where we have to build community, because where I wish I spent more time figuring out who I was and how I wanted to be in middle school and high school, college really helped me. It really helped me understand that building community is important, especially if you're going to college away from home or can't really get back to home easily in a whole new space. So, opening myself up to make new friends probably was the best thing I ever did. And one of the few best things in my college career. And I wish someone told me, if it's no longer healthy or serving me, I can end the friendship at any time. And that's Louie. And Louie agrees. I want to make sure, even now at this older age that I'm getting into, recognizing and remembering that a friendship can be a season. If I find that, we're not quite vibing right, or I'm not being received the way I think I should be, then I can just end it.
That's funny, because I was talking to one of my friends and we were talking about our grad school experience, and just how people, and she was like, well, some people, and we've always heard this from the seasoned folk, some people are there for a lifetime and some people are there for a lesson. And it really had me thinking that I want to teach my kids that at a very early age, because I feel especially with especially too, whenever you make a friend, you're expected to be friends with them for the rest of
forever.
Your life. Yeah, and especially because church is was fashioned in a way that's these are your family, these are your brothers, these are your sisters, and that's fine, but it's you still need friends,
right? And if that works out for you, great. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go.
And if that works out for you, great. I'm trying to filter my words. And make sure you're making friends for all aspects of who you are. I think, like you were saying, we were so fashioned to be like, well, you're in cheer, these are your friends. You're in dance, these are your friends. I remember the few birthday parties I had, I remember how different the guest lists were. Like early on when we were dancing, all of my birthday parties was just the dancers. No one from, I went to school, I went to church. But if you look at the pictures, it was just everybody from dance. And then once we matriculated out of dance into cheer, the few friends that I enjoyed spending time with was at those birthday parties or that I was in high school with.
Why do they keep coming back?
I don't know. But, and hopefully the leaves go away, or the leaf blower guy goes away. But just being open to knowing that you may have friends for different things. And there are those lifetime friends that are with you for every part of who you are. And unfortunately, I'm learning that now, which is why I don't have too many friends. And I'm being okay with, like, yeah, when I go to, I don't know, dance class one day, when I finally get back into the studio, these are my studio friends. We may not branch out of the studio, and that's okay. They are still my friends for this particular moment. Versus my friends who can come with me to the studio and also come with me to the hospital if something happens, and also come with me when I'm in my bed crying and boo-hooing, and come with me to the movies. Like, I think it's okay to have friends for different things. Just make sure, and I'm just going to go back to what I said before, that you vet them, that they're appreciating you at every moment that they're with you.
Valid.
Poor Riley.
I know.
But also, Riley, if you're listening, collect
Probably
the
not.
check. Like, I mean, all money ain't good money, yes, but while you're there, collect a check.
But also, your mom knows the game. So, like, not only collect the check, but use it to your advantage. Anything you're working on. Because I think she was saying she was DJing.
Cool.
They didn't give a lot of her, you know,
Her
how
backstory.
just Bravo does. Like, it didn't give a lot of her, like, aspirations and dreams. It gave, and I don't know if she had a lot to, because again, she's young. So you're still trying to figure things out or whatever. But if you're going to be in these spaces, tell us what you want to do with DJing. If we can listen to this girl that wants to have a party at the bowling alley, which ended up working out, like the people came to the bowling alley, so but it was like
anyway.
They just went bowling and there's a DJ, so it wasn't like a New York party.
She didn't have Riley DJ.
You know.
Again, just vet your friends.
But like, well, Riley said it was a dumb idea.
That is true. Well, if she would have said, Riley, you can DJ, then maybe it would have changed her.
But that is a good point, though, because your everything friend should be able to put you in those spaces.
Bad example. I tried.
However, this isn't that space. Yeah, I don't know. I just really want my kids to have a good experience. Yeah. And I'm not even saying that, like, oh, I had like the worst experience in the world. No, I was smiling. There's a lot of pictures. I have a whole scrapbook. Yeah. Like, it was okay, but it's just being able to be successful playing a part is not the same as like experiencing real joy. And it's
not sustainable either.
No, it's not. And I really want my kids to experience real joy. Yeah. Like, especially in those younger years, obviously for the rest of their life, but especially in those younger years where it's like, you're
invincible.
Yeah. Like, you just get to do, you don't have to worry about bills. You don't have to worry about anything.
Bills.
The main thing that you have to worry about is just the stupid little drama that's at your school.
Just wake up.
And that's it.
I miss those years.
I don't, though, because I feel like even if I had the wherewithal, I mean, I'll say this. My authentic self now is kind of how I was a long time ago before people demonized it. And like I had to start playing a role just to be, I don't know, in people's space or whatever. And I think that if I were to go back now, I would get in a lot more trouble. Because I do it because I'm not taking calculus. I'm not taking any honors class. I'm going straight to the community college and going for $43 a unit, getting my little DVC degree, and then going on to do whatever it is I need to do. I might even do a gap year. I will travel. I'll probably go to school in a different country. My life would be completely different. So I'm happy that I did it the way I did it because I'm more solid in who I am now because I've lost myself and gained myself back than if I would have just kept with it. Because then I don't know if I would have lost myself later in life trying to like.
No, that makes sense. I never knew myself. So I think for me, I would go back with the knowledge that I have now, even though recognizing that the knowledge that I have now is because of the lessons I learned then, and me being able to reflect back on how much my not my silence, but me just like going with what everyone tells me to do, how that was a detriment for me being able to be as amazing as I was, all because of their fear of how amazing I could be. And so if I can just go back and tell myself, like, don't listen to them. They're not saying this because they're helping you. They're saying this because they're literally afraid of who you are going to become if you were confident enough to know that you can do all of these things. Because I had a big imagination. It was never shared. And I think if I doubled down on the various things that I imagined when I was daydreaming, I probably would be like a famous author or
I can see that
movie writer or something, or maybe an author, maybe not a movie. I don't think I want to go into something.
You can do it now. The people, the people
but
make
now
it
I'm
in
tired.
40. Oh, okay, yeah.
Like I'm exhausted. It's just like, let me just accomplish the very thing I'm working on now so I can coast. Like I just want to coast. I've worked so hard, but I think a portion of that work hard was, again, me assimilating. That was the word. Assimilating to the spaces I was in and the people I was around, to ensure that they were okay with me being around. And that, like I said, it's not sustainable and it gets tired.
And it takes way more effort to like bury yourself.
Man.
And then like not only do I have to work to continue, like my left hand's burying myself and my right hand's like working, trying to do a little magic show over here.
Exactly. As a distraction. Yeah. But now we're here.
Yep.
And we know lessons. What'd you say? Lessons in lifetimes. And the lessons are done. So.
Oh yeah, it's only.
I appreciate the friends for a lifetime going forward.
Yeah.
But Riley, I'm gonna hope for the best for you.
Well, okay, guys, we're gonna stop this one early because everybody's making noise.
Too much noise.
There is the people who are like, I guess they're like fixing the garage. But also we have this neighbor, and he's not gonna listen to this, so I'm gonna say it. We have this neighbor.
He can have an episode of his own, right?
So this may take the rest of the time because now I'm gonna get into it. We have this neighbor who, like, I guess has a business out of his garage or like whatever. I don't know what he's doing, and I'm not in his business. But what is my business is him making noise all hours of the night, so we don't get any sleep.
Early morning.
And then he also, when does he sleep? And then he also makes noise early in the morning. Everybody he invites over talks so loud, and like the way our house is situated, our house faces the garages, and his garage is the first garage. So every conversation we hear, every argument we hear, every like fixing of the car we hear, and then every little noise Louis barks like he's about to do right now.
Yep.
So it's like
he ran all the way to the back.
So like we can't do it. We can't get anything. We're just trying to do successful things
or sleep.
Right.
Sleep would be
like we can't. It's just so that I want to document this moment because we're two or more gathered, and three of us are here, including Louis. So this is not going to be our struggle in the future. Because this is so raggedy.
It's a lot to work around. Even when scheduling video meetings, because my office faces his garage, I have to make sure I schedule it during times where I know he is inside.
Which is ridiculous.
And sometimes it's a hit or miss. And on the misses, my clients are hearing his conversations and it's weird. So, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's what, like, my room... It's basically the whole length of this side of the house faces his stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like my room faces like the end of the garage, but in the back of the garage is where he keeps like, I don't know, a generator, whatever. It's really loud.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's summer and I be trying to open my window. It's like hot. So I sleep with the window open. And then just out of nowhere, like 12 o'clock at night, you hear this like really loud generator and then boom, I'm up. And I'm only getting 5 hours because I have a meeting like the next morning. Like, it's just, it is unbearable.
It's ridiculous. And it's interesting given that we're part of a HOA who is also, I guess, afraid to tell him like noise is too much.
Yeah.
Or to not do whatever it is. I honestly don't know what's happening either.
Right.
I just know it's just all very loud.
And it's all kind of before us because all the complaints that were coming in, like we haven't complained once
Not
to the HOA.
once.
But evidently all the other neighbors, which is confusing too, because like we are the most affected by it, but all the other neighbors have something to say. But like, thank y'all, I guess. But like all the other neighbors have like complained and like they still haven't done anything except
talk about it.
Yeah, and then cause problems for like everybody else.
Oh,
to, like,
I'm not even gonna go into that.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that, but like it's just I just want to document this because we have had to stop this particular podcast several times because of all the noise that's around the house. And this is not going to be our story.
No.
In 6 months.
3.
Okay. That's right. Okay, miracles. I've seen God do some things too. So
Man.
3 months it is.
If the entire U.S. changes overnight,
you right.
Listen.
You right.
Now, I don't know what the change is going to be, but I know it's going to be in my favor.
But yeah.
Wishing no harm on anyone in the process.
Then it's not in your favor. And I had to, guess we do have some things to say. I love this. We should do one of these like random ones. Anyway, I had to because I started praying again. However, and I am not going back to church. I'm not religious. I'm not being a part of any type of religion. I just don't want anybody getting ideas to be like,
in the comments.
Like, come back to service. Da-da-da. It's never going to happen, ever. Literally, ever. And God, don't be funny. Don't.
Next podcast, we will be at such and
such. But imagine. Oh, that would piss me off. But like, because I started praying more, I realized how much I backtrack. Like, oh God, I want all these things. Like, I want all this money, but not that much. I'll just, this much will do. This much will do. I just want to get through the next month, or I just want to get through. No, I want to be able to book a trip. And
I trust you for all things.
Yeah, because you literally own all things. And like, obviously getting past the barriers of like, what I knew God before God was explained to me.
Yep.
And like, so kind of just like reclaiming my spirituality in that way, because I've always been like spiritual girly when I was younger, or like, you know, what do they call it? The woo-woo people or whatever. Because majority of the stones I collected when I was a kid. And I was not reading nobody's Bible. But I had all these stones from the Discovery store that used to be in the Sun Valley Mall. It's not there anymore. Anyway, I realized, this is my second time recording this, but I realized that there was a lot of limitations in my prayers, and like I would backtrack a lot whenever I'd ask for something. And I'd be like, oh, Lord, like I just want X, Y, and Z. And then be like, I'd feel like I'm asking for too much. But we're watching people have a lot. And I know I've said this before. There's a lot of people hoarding a lot of other people's blessings, and that's fine because they're keeping it warm for us to come back and get them. Now I'm coming back to get all my things. So yeah, that's what I spent so much time trying to say.
Yeah, no, it's good. And I love to hear, because I know, again, this was a hodgepodge podcast episode, but I would love to hear what you all think, whether it is, well, three things. Whether it's about, you know, protect Riley at all costs, or if you just watch the show and have other comments about the other cast members.
No, we don't want those.
Okay, well, back to Riley.
These are kids. Protect the kids. They learn.
Oh yeah, we're not on here to talk about the kids, but if there's any insights or observations you have, see, I don't watch the show, so I don't know.
A lot of that's why I said no, don't do it.
Love to hear what y'all got to say, and maybe Janelle will respond, because I'm not watching the show.
On that, can I say this? There is a link. We now have a bio site with all of our links of all of the places to listen to the podcast. And there is a link to a Google form to where you can submit the things that you want to like submit to us. We're still going to read the comments, but that's a little more streamlined because it goes directly to the email. So like I'll get the notification that something's there rather than like us having to look for it. Yeah. I just wanted to highlight that. It's in the description. And it's on the bio site.
So go check it out. Click the buttons. As you notice, I have not seen this bio site yet. But go click whatever's on there and engage with us. Because honestly, this is just fun time for us as sisters to have conversation. So y'all get the behind the scenes of how those conversations go. But also, so we can have conversations with you all and make sure that this podcast stays relevant and stays helpful or entertaining to all of you. I think that's all of the church announcements for the day. And now the landscaper's done.
And everything's quiet.
Everything just went.
And now I'm pissed off. So
it just went quiet.
Okay, bye.
Bye.